Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Jason, your host.
And I'm Julia, your co-host. Hi, friends. I'm so excited you're here today because we have a very important topic that many English learners struggle with.
Absolutely, Julia. Today, we're talking about something almost every learner experiences. That feeling when you want to speak English, but you're just afraid.
Yes, that fear of making mistakes, of being judged, or even just feeling nervous to start a conversation. If you've ever felt like that, trust me, you are not alone.
Exactly. And the good news is that fear is normal. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about why it happens. And more importantly, what you can do to overcome it.
We'll share some practical tips, small exercises you can do at home, and even a mini role play to show how fear can hold you back and how confidence can change everything.
By the end of this episode, you'll have tools to start speaking English with less fear and more confidence, even if you're a beginner.
So grab a notebook if you want to take notes, take a deep breath, and let's get started.
Julia, let's start by talking about the biggest fear many English learners have speaking English. Honestly, it can be really scary to start a conversation in a new language.
Absolutely, Jason. And I think the main reason is that people are afraid of making mistakes. They worry that others will laugh or judge them. It's completely normal to feel that way.
I remember when I first started speaking English, I would freeze every time someone asked me a question. I was so afraid of saying the wrong word that I sometimes just stayed silent.
Oh, yes. And that silence can make you feel even more nervous. But here's the thing. Everyone who learns a new language goes through this. Even native English speakers make mistakes when they're learning another language.
Exactly. And the truth is, mistakes are part of the learning process. Every time you try to speak, even if you make errors, you are improving your English.
Right. And the more you practice, the less scary it becomes. The fear is natural at first, but it gets smaller each time you speak.
So today, we're going to show you how to face that fear, step by step, and how to turn it into confidence. Trust me, you can do it.
Jason, one thing I always tell learners is that fear is completely normal when learning a new language. It's not a sign that you're not good enough.
Exactly, Julia. Think about it. Learning a language is like learning to ride a bike. At first, you feel nervous, maybe even scared of falling. But once you practice, it becomes natural.
Yes, and when it comes to speaking English, your brain is doing something new. You're forming sentences, remembering vocabulary, and trying to pronounce words correctly all at the same time. No wonder it feels intimidating.
And here's an important point. Everyone makes mistakes, even advanced speakers. Making mistakes isn't failure. It's proof that you are learning and improving.
Exactly. The fear is just your mind saying, hey, this is new, be careful. But if you keep practicing, that fear slowly becomes confidence.
So, if you feel afraid to speak English, remember, it's normal, it's temporary, and it actually means you are learning something new.
And today, we'll give you tools to reduce that fear so you can start speaking more comfortably and confidently.
Julia, now that we've talked about fear being normal, let's discuss some of the thoughts that make learners even more afraid to speak English.
Yes, I hear this all the time. People think I will make mistakes, or I sound stupid, or people will laugh at me. These thoughts can stop you before you even try.
Exactly. And sometimes learners overthink grammar. They say, I have to get every word right, and that pressure makes it almost impossible to speak naturally.
Another common thought is comparing yourself to others. You might think, I'm not as good as my friend, or they speak better English than me. This comparison only increases fear and lowers confidence.
Yes, the truth is, nobody speaks perfectly at first, and everyone progresses at their own pace. Those negative thoughts are really just mental blocks that stop you from practicing.
The good news is, once you recognize these thoughts, you can start changing them. And later in this episode, we'll share some simple mindset techniques to help you do exactly that.
So, if you notice these thoughts in your mind, don't panic. Awareness is the first step toward overcoming them.
Jason, now that we know the common thoughts that hold learners back, let's talk about some simple mindset changes that can really reduce fear.
Yes, the first one is this. Focus on communication, not perfection. It's better to say something and be understood than to wait until every word is perfect.
Exactly. And the second mindset shift is to accept mistakes as part of learning. Every mistake is a chance to improve. Imagine mistakes as small steps toward becoming fluent.
Another tip is to celebrate small successes. Even speaking one sentence confidently is progress. Say to yourself, I did it, and that builds your confidence over time.
And one more important mindset change. Think of speaking English as a fun challenge, not a test. When you enjoy the process, fear naturally decreases.
Right. I like to remind learners to give themselves permission to make mistakes. If you stop judging yourself so harshly, speaking English becomes much easier and more enjoyable.
So remember, focus on communication, accept mistakes, celebrate small wins, and enjoy the process. These mindset shifts may seem small, but they make a huge difference in reducing fear.
And later in this episode, we'll pair these mindset changes with practical speaking exercises so you can practice without fear. Julia, mindset is important, but now let's talk about practical ways learners can start speaking English every day.
Yes, one simple technique is talking to yourself in English. It might feel strange at first, but it's a safe space to practice without judgment. You can describe what you're doing or tell a story out loud.
Exactly. Another great way is reading out loud. Even if it's a simple book, news article, or a short story, reading aloud helps improve pronunciation and fluency.
And don't forget repeating phrases from podcasts, movies, or YouTube videos. Pick a short sentence, listen carefully, and try to copy the sounds and rhythm. This helps you sound more natural when speaking.
I also recommend recording your voice. It might feel weird at first, but listening to yourself helps you notice improvements and gives you confidence over time.
And here's a bonus tip. Try speaking in English for at least 5 minutes a day. You don't need a partner. Just start small and gradually increase your time. Consistency is more important than perfection.
Exactly. These daily techniques build your speaking muscles. Remember, the more you practice, the easier it becomes to speak without fear.
And soon, these exercises will make real conversations less scary. You'll start noticing your confidence grow every day.
Julia, now let's do a mini role play to show the difference between an afraid speaker and a confident speaker.
Great idea. I'll start as the afraid speaker. Hi, my name is Julia. I, like, uh, English.
You see? Short words, long pauses, lots of ums and uhs. This is how fear sounds when you speak English.
Exactly. And now let's try the confident version. Hi, my name is Julia, and I really enjoy learning English. I practice every day, and I'm excited to improve my speaking skills.
Notice the difference? In the confident version, Julia spoke clearly, used complete sentences, and sounded more relaxed.
Yes, the afraid speaker focuses on mistakes, pauses a lot, and lacks confidence. The confident speaker focuses on communication, uses what they know, and keeps the conversation going.
And here's a tip. You don't need perfect grammar to sound confident. Using simple sentences with a positive attitude can make a huge difference.
Exactly. So the next time you feel afraid, remember this role play. Take a deep breath, focus on what you want to say, and speak clearly even if it's just simple words.
Confidence grows with practice. Each small step helps you move from the afraid speaker to the confident speaker. Julia, now let's talk about some common mistakes learners make when they're afraid to speak English.
Yes, one big mistake is not speaking at all. Some learners stay silent because they're worried about making mistakes. But the truth is, speaking, even imperfectly, is always better than staying quiet.
Another mistake is overthinking grammar. Learners pause too long, trying to get every word right, and then the conversation slows down. The key is to focus on communicating your message, not perfection.
And a third mistake is translating word by word from your native language. This can make sentences sound awkward and unnatural. It's better to think in English, even with simple words.
Yes! And finally, some learners apologize too much or underestimate themselves. Saying, "I'm sorry, my English is bad," before you even speak can make you sound less confident. Instead, just speak naturally and focus on your message.
Exactly. If you notice yourself making these mistakes, don't worry, they're normal. The important thing is to recognize them and try small changes to improve.
Right. Awareness is the first step, and practice is the second. Julia, now it's time for a quick confidence challenge for our listeners. Are you ready?
Absolutely. Okay, here's the challenge. Today, we want you to introduce yourself in English for 1 minute. You can do it in front of a mirror or you can record your voice on your phone.
Yes. Just say your name, where you're from, what you like, or any simple sentences you know. Don't worry about mistakes. The goal is to practice speaking without fear.
And here's a tip. If you get stuck, just pause, take a deep breath, and continue. Remember, every word you speak is progress.
Try to do this every day for a week. Even a small daily practice builds confidence faster than long sessions once in a while.
Exactly. And after a week, you'll notice that speaking English feels a little easier each day. You're training your brain and your mouth to work together in English.
So, are you ready to take the challenge? Pick up that mirror or your phone and start speaking. Julia, before we close, let's quickly recap today's episode.
Sure. Today we talked about why so many learners feel afraid to speak English, and we learned that fear is completely normal.
We also discussed the common thoughts that stop you, like worrying about mistakes or comparing yourself to others. And we shared some mindset changes to reduce fear.
Right. Plus, we gave practical daily speaking techniques, showed a mini role play of an afraid versus confident speaker, and highlighted common mistakes to avoid.
And we finished with a quick confidence challenge to help our listeners practice speaking English every day.
Remember, friends, speaking English is a skill. The more you practice, the more confident you become. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every word you speak is a step forward.
Exactly. Keep speaking, keep practicing, and slowly but surely, fear will turn into confidence. You've got this. And that's a wrap for today's episode on I Am Afraid to Speak English. Thank you so much for listening and practicing with us.
Yes, we hope you feel more confident and ready to speak English, even if it feels scary at first. Remember, every small step counts.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss new tips to improve your English.
Also, we'd love to hear from you. Comment below and tell us about your biggest fear in speaking English, or share how you completed today's confidence challenge.
We read every comment and love seeing your progress. Keep speaking, keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye for now, friends. Keep shining and keep learning English.